everybody, welcome. I'm Zoe, always welcome. So basically, in this one for reading, I'm going to tell you all that this can be for a Virgo reading. I'm an Earth sign as a zodiac sign. This will go for July 25th to August 1st of 2025. So, if you're wondering what's going on from a Virgo these days, whether if you're being kind to a Virgo, whether you are, outwitted by a Virgo, it doesn't matter. Okay? When you focus about something, and let's say a Virgo doesn't, comply or whatever, and let's say, for example, she's a woman as a Virgo, she wouldn't like it. She wouldn't like about the gossips and all that stuff, and she wants to be the center of attention and all that stuff. But when you think about it, when you think about your own reality, you have to put that into reason. You have to put that into perspective, and you have to understand that, because when you comply or when you compel or whatever it is, there is ways about knowing what to do, right? When you focus about negativity, when you focus about what the Virgo woman is, or what's going on with her, you pay attention, right? Because why, when a Virgo woman acts like it, or whether it could be a Virgo man or Virgo woman, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Because you have to focus about your reasons. You have to focus about yourself. You have to focus about your own intimidations, right? If you're saying that, a Virgo is being mean, being rude, being boastful, talking about trash about you, whatever it is, basically means that the Virgo woman is trying to say, back off, leave me alone, and don't want to talk to you. That's negativity right there, okay? Now, for my interpretations, it's basically saying that there was something going on, right? And, you need to understand that this is the way about this way, right? This is just the reading, I'm going to tell you all. You have to understand that when things go not, your direction, and you want to be the center of attention, okay? You pay attention on how you're feeling. If you want to get all the center of attention, why are you being mean and rude and disrespectful, right? You pay attention about, like who's basically telling the truth or who's making up lies, right? You have to pay attention on whether you're feeling boastful or, intimidation, whatever it is. You have to figure out what's going on in that way. You have to put that aside and say, alright, this is the way how it goes. Because, this is the way it seems to be, right? This is how it goes, right? So, this oracle card, it says fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. That's how it goes, right? A Virgo woman should be complying or applying, whatever it is, about having that. Having the balls to move about having love, having, kindness, having whatever. But why would she feel like that? Because this is how it is. You have to pay attention on what you're going to be doing, because you have to figure out what's going on in that way, because there's a way about knowing what to do. You have to believe it in order to do it. You have to, have the step in the right direction, because you pay attention to it. Fear is negativity. Fear is like you're fearing, you're saying somebody that, oh, you're creepy, or I don't like you, or go away from me, whatever it is. Right? You're trying to get center of attention. Isn't that right, Virgo woman? Yeah. I'm talking about you. But anyway, you have to pay attention about what's going on. Whether you have fear or not, but you pay attention to it. That's why you have to go with the flow. That's why it seems to be that in that way. Okay? So, let's see what's going on for Virgo. Now, the cards are already shuffled and already, but the way how this is, the way how it is in that way, you have to pay attention on how you're feeling, how you're processing, how you're basically feeling like that, because you have to understand that, right? You have to understand about what's going on in that way, and you have to do exactly how it is. Because this is what it seems to be in that way. Alright? So here we go. So in this wonderful, reading, the chariot is upright, it does progress, right? You have progress, right? A Virgo woman has progress, and she does whatever she wants, It could be how she's going to work on it, how she's going to visualize it, because that's how it goes, right? So that's how it seems to be. The Nine of Pentacles reversed means she's feeling uncomfortable. She doesn't like it, she doesn't like the sparing, she doesn't like it. But you know what? You have to understand that. You have to be strong and be wild about what is. You're trying to not have your own uncontrolling or uncomfortable or whatever it is. But it's your decision. It's your life. You pay attention to it, okay? Two of Pentacles is upright because you're balancing two things at once, right? So the Virgo woman could be doing it in their Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus in that way, right? It's like, okay, I know what to do. All right, I got this. All right, this is so intense. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. That's how it is. But you have to understand that when you have your own balls to move, you pay attention to it. So, like, for instance, like the Ace of Pentacles reverse, the King of Swords reverse, Ace of Pentacles reverse, you have no prosperity. You have no money. You don't want to do that. You don't want to face that. You don't want to face your own, how it is, your own propaganda, whatever it is. You're not trying to pay attention to that. The King of Swords reverse, it does mean that you have no knowledge whatever. No knowledge, right? Because that's how it goes. Ace of Cups does represent prosperity of love, because you want to be like that. You want to have love, you want to have that way. But when you have fear, when you're being uncomfortable and everything is not going your way. That's how it goes. And the Eight of Cups does represent Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, as in the water signs, as zodiac signs out there. But it does represent entertainment, right? Because you want to be entertained, you want to be looked at, that's how it goes. But, this is the way it seems to be, because this is the way how it goes. So, let's see what's going on here. So I'm going to do a 3-card reading one way or another. The Chariot, I'm going to look at it. So let's see. So 10 of Pentacles is upright, followed by the Page of Swords reverse, followed by the Judgment is upright. Yeah, because you're taking action. You want to take action. The 10 of Pentacles represent wealth because you want money. You want things to be going as planned. You want things to be going your way. That's how it goes. It's like, all right, this is how it is. I'm going to, have my own base. All right, this is the way it goes. Yes, but why are you having it? You need to have your own exception of knowing what to do, right? You're accepting what you want and what you're going to get. So you can be dealing with an Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in that way, okay? 9 Pentacles reverse. Let's see what this is. King of Swords reverse, 4 of Cups reverse, 4 of 3 Pentacles separate. Yeah, you want excitement, right? You want to have maybe no celebration, but you're talking about it. You're talking about what's going to be in that way because you have no restriction. You don't have no distraction, no knowledge, nothing. It's like, why? Because that's how it goes. You have to believe in yourself. You have to accept what you want, what you get. Because that's how it is. You have to believe what's going on in that way, right? This is how casual it is, but then how it is, right? This is like almost intense. You have to inquire of that. So you can do it in the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in that way, okay? Now let's see what's going on between the Ace of Pentacles all the way to the 8 of Cups. So 2 of Cups is upright, followed with the Knight of Wands is upright, followed with the Page of Pentacles reversed, followed with the 4 of Swords reversed, followed with the 5 of Swords reversed, followed with the Devil reversed, followed by the King of Wands is upright. Yeah. So when the 2 of Cups shows up, it does represent, relationships. Like you're having relationship, you're having friendship. You know how it goes, right? That's how it goes, right? That's how it seems to be. The Knight of Wands does represent basically immaturity. Because you're not being immature. but you are being immature. Do you see the difference? Yeah, you do. Because when you have immaturity, you're being immature. It's like, well, I don't like this one. I don't like it. I quit. Why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep pissing somebody off and tell them they're creepy or they don't look so good or whatever it is? This is what I'm going through, you know? Virgo, you have to pay attention on how you're feeling. It doesn't look like everything's going to be all perfect. This is not fun and games. It's not. But you pay attention on what's going to be going on in that way. Try to get it together. You know, that's how it goes. What's between this Four of Swords and this Page of Pentacles? The Strength card reverse, yeah, because you're having no bravery. You're being scared. Because you're not emphasizing about how you're feeling, how you've been going through, because that's how it goes. It's like, why? Why I don't want to do it? Why? Because you're having that. It's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be scared. I'm going to be frightened. That's how it goes. And I can see it. This is the way it goes, right? Because you're focusing on what's going to be happening in that way. Because you're acting to be immature. You're acting like you're having relationships, friendships, whatever it is. Because you're trying to get what you want. Figure it out, right? Figure it out. Because what's going on with this clarify this, the Strength cards here. The Justice reverse, yeah, because you're not telling the truth. You're lying about something. When you're lying, because you're not telling the truth. Because you don't like it. You make lies, and, everyone doesn't like you, everyone doesn't participate, blah, 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 because you are being immature. That's how it goes, right? A Virgo woman doesn't act like that. Whether it could be other zodiac signs in this picture, but you pay attention to it. Let's go on with this Justice card here. The Knight of Pentacles is right, yeah, because you have trust right now. Trust is the only way you have in that way. It's like, why are you doing it? Why are you doing to impress yourself? Why? You have to figure out what the 5 W's is. Who, what, where, when, why in that situation. That's how it seems to be. That's how it goes. What's between this 2 Pentacles and this Ace of Cups here? Six of Cups is upright. For the High Priestess is upright. For the Nine of Wands is upright. Yeah, see? This is the way how it goes. Where the Six of Cups does represent the past. You're staying on the past. Why are you staying on the past, Virgo? Why? Because when you stay on the past, you're going through all the negativity, all about it. You don't care about anybody. You care about yourself. When you have the past, you're not staying with the future, not the present, not the whole entire thing. You're working on the past. You're stuck on the past. You hate the past. But you just keep going with the flow. Because you might be flirting with every man, every woman, you want attention, you want, exploitations, whatever it is. Because that's how it goes. Because right now with the Nine of Wands here, you're feeling like you're having fear. That's what this card means, fear, because you don't like it anymore. You don't want to be like this. Well, the cards are like telling me the whole entire truth. This is the truth, sweetheart. Right? I don't know why I call you sweetheart, but you know what I mean. You pay attention on how it feels. You pay attention about what's going on in that way. It's like you're trying to emphasize what's wrong with you. You have to figure out what's happening around here. You pay attention if you're, try to gather some information because you don't like it. You don't want to participate about it. You don't like it. But if you keep staring at one person, let's say about that, you're staring at a Scorpio Man, for example, more than 20 times. And you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Scorpio Man is paying attention to you more than 20 times. It's like, why? You want someone else's attention, right? Well, look at this. Does it make any sense to you? You pay attention on how you're feeling. This is like almost recognition of how you feel when you look at the past, when you look at the fear, when you have you're using your voice. Because you're being quiet. You're being how boastful about it. It's not always about you. It's about your behavior, your emotions, your feelings, your background. Because this is what it is. See? You have to pay attention to it, right? Because let's see what's in the middle of this situation here. The Empress is upright, yeah, because you want nourishment. You want things to be gradually of having nourishment. Being nourished, being accepted, being, how it is. This is the way how it goes. This is not the P's and Q's and whatever. It's not. You have to pay attention on how you're going to be based on what's going on. See what I mean? Pay attention to it. So let me clarify. So let me go from the Empress to the right side, please. Tower is upright, there's transformation. King of Cups, sorry, you want support. 8 Pentacles reversed, there's no perfection. The Hangman reversed, there's no restrictions. Justice upright, you're basically saying that you're telling the truth, but then you're not. You're making up lies. You're thinking about the past. You're thinking about how it is. You don't like that person. You keep going along with it. See what I mean? See what I mean, Virgo? You pay attention. See? Look at this. Yeah. Pay attention to it. What's up with this Empress on the left side, please? The Hierophant reverse, there's no guidance. 5-1 start, there's chaos, yeah. Queen of Cups is upright, there's empathy, yeah. Full reverse, there's no change. The Seven of Cups is upright, there's basically a delusion, yeah. Because you're having a deja vu moment, because you're thinking about the past all the time. It's like, why? Why it keeps happening? Why? Because that's how it goes. Yeah, there's something wrong, This is the way how it goes. If you have no guidance, if you have chaos, if you have, the Queen of Cups does represent empathy. Two sides of the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't. See what I mean? That's how it goes. It's a perfect strategy that I can know of. What's in the middle of this situation? Queen wants stuff right. Yeah, there's charisma. Yeah. See? You're thinking like, I know what to do now. Yeah, see what I mean? See? I'm not making this up. See, this is what a beautiful reading this is, right? But this is how it goes, right? You think that, everything seems to be fine, alright, I know what to do, but then that's how it goes. So let's see who's on the left side, please. We have fortunes, alright, so there's good luck, okay? What's in the middle? The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. What's on the right side, the Death card, that means endings. And you might be focusing on Scorpio, yeah, as water sign. So let me clarify this. We have fortune here. The Empress, the High Priest is upright because you're using your inner voice. But the Death card does represent Scorpio, yeah, because, there's endings are going to come up. And you're focusing on Scorpio. Because Scorpios keep staring at you more than 20 times. It's like you're having that click of like saying, I'm in love with Scorpio. But then it's like, no, I'm not. See what I mean? Because you have no structure. When you have no structure, you don't want it anymore. Because you're in delusion. You're in a deja vu moment. You're having fear. You're having the past. Things are not going as planned. And this is the way how it goes. This is the perfect strategy right now. Perfect reading, but perfect strategy for a Virgo woman. You know how it is, or this is how it goes. Let me see what's going on with this Emperor card. The World reverse, there's incompletion. The Hangman reverse, there is no restrictions. But the Lovers is upright, yeah, because there's decisions you're gonna make. Whether if you're in love with Scorpio, whether you're not in Scorpio, whether you are intense. It's like you're thinking that you want all the attention, but you're not, because you want to make decisions. See? This is why I'm focusing about this whole entire reading. It makes sense. It's the way how you feel, the way how you act, but everything's all coming together. It makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, it is. What's up with this death card here? The moon is upright. There's misrotations. To hear from this upright gives you want guidance. Okay, what's happening with this moon card here? The sun card reverse. Yeah, there's negativity. Yeah, because you're stuck on that. You're stuck on negativity, and you hate it. You hate when you are in negativity. Oh, I love it when I'm laughing. But you know what I mean. Because this is like the way how it goes when you just don't like it anymore. See what I mean? Like it's basically how it is. What's else with this sun card here? The Temperance reverse, there's no healing. The High Priestess reverse, there's no inner voice, exactly. The Devil reverse, there's no obsessions, rejections. The Sun cards over, there's positivity. Yeah, because you're back and forth. Negativity, positivity. Negativity, positivity. Because you're looking at it, right? If a Scorpio man or a Scorpio or whoever you're dealing with, and let's say the Scorpio is saying to a Virgo woman, saying, hey, your hair is nice. That's a compliment, sweetheart. That's a compliment. Because that's actually positivity right there. So when you're dealing with another Leo as a fire sign, you can deal with multiple zodiac signs. There's 12 zodiac signs in this picture, really. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, Leo, Aquarius, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Yeah, there's 12 zodiac signs in this picture. That's how it goes, right? What's between this High Priestess and this Death card here? The Strength card reverse, yeah, because you don't have any bravery. You're being scared, you're being unwanted, you're being disrespectful, because that's how it goes. That's why it's like things are not going as planned, because you are having fear, you're looking at the past, you don't like it anymore. You know, that's how it goes. So what's up with this Strength card? The Lotus are right, yeah, because you want decisions. So you're making decisions in the middle. You're making decisions on the left side as well. So when you're having all this, it's like, wow. See? Yeah? So let's see what's going on with this Lotus card here. The Temperance reverse, there's no healing. The Fool reverse, there's no change. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. The Devil reverse, there's no obsessions and restrictions. The Magician's already gives you one skill. Yeah, you have a skill. Yeah. Your skill is basically having fear, having the strategy of having the past. You know, you stick with all this. Because you're in between the positivity, negativity, positivity, negativity. You know, that's how it goes. What's up with this Sun card here? The Emperor's yours, there's no nourishment. The Star reverse, there's no inspiration. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. No. The Chariot reverse, there's no progress. The Judgment reverse, there's no action. The Hermit is upright, there's solitude. Yeah, because you're flirting. So when you're flirting, it's like, wow, you know, this is the way how it goes. See, this is like almost a messed up reading, but you know what? When you look at this, it's like, wow. See your eyes, eh? See how this is very interesting? It's like, wow. You know? That's how it is. Because if you're dealing with another, you know, a Virgo woman, a Scorpio man, whatever it is, you pay attention to it. Whether you like it or not, it's like that's how it goes. It's like, wow. So what's up with this, the Magician card? Judgment reverse, so there's no action. The World reverse, there's incompletion, yes. The Emperor reverse, there's no nourishment. Moon is upright, there's misrotations. Yeah. Because you're deciding. You're deciding about this. This is the way how it goes. What's up with this Lovers card in the middle? The Fool is upright. Yeah, there's change. Yes, there is that way. It's you're changing. Right? What's up with this Hermit card here? The Chariot is upright, there's progress. In reverse, there's no restrictions. Which is upright, you want skill. See, it's back and forth with it. So I can see it. I can see this. Both the move you're doing. It's great. Like, it's making me laugh already because this is so interesting. It's like, wow. You know? This is the way how it goes. What's up with this Magician card? The Hermit reverse, so there's no solitude. Like, you're not looking for a soulmate. The Justice reverse because you're not telling the truth. Nope. And the Stars are because there's inspiration. Yeah, what's up with this Moon card here? The Tower reverse because there's no transformation. Yeah. What's up with this? The Tower here. Wheel of Fortune's already good, so you're gonna have good luck. All right. What's this Fool card about? The Justice already. You're gonna tell the truth. What's up with the Star card? The Strength card reverse because you have no bravery. Yeah. See? When you have no bravery, right? It's like you're being scared, you know, you're trying to have good luck on your side, you have this. This is the way how it goes. It's like, wow. You know? So you have to look at it that way. Like, wow. So let's see what's going on here. So let's see. So tell me something what's going for Virgo from July 25th to August 1st of 2025. What's happening? So let's see. Let me clarify the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Swords is upright. There's you're showing your I think you're showing independence. I think you are. And the Knight of Swords reverse, there's no drama. Ace of Pentacles reverse, there's no prosperity. But Ace of Swords does represent anxiety. Yeah. Because you're being selfish, you're being naive, you're basically having anxiety because that's how it goes. When you have anxiety, it's like you're focusing about that. You're focusing about the fear. You're focusing about things are not going as planned. You know? That's why this is a very strong reading now. Right? Yeah. Because if you're being naive, when you're not being who you are, you have the Eight of Swords does represent anxiety. Yeah. So it's like you're trying to figure out what you want, but then are you going to get it? Probably not. Because you have anxiety right now. That's how it goes. When you have anxiety, it's the Midas touch in your heart. That's how it goes. What's also with this Justice card, please? And I cuss this over, yeah, because you have romance on the side. You feel like you have romance because you might be dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But then you might be dealing with another Scorpio as a man. You know, the things are basically how it is. You're trying to figure out what you want and what you're going to get. That's how it goes. You're feeling sad, you're whimpering, you don't know what to do. You're having all these emotions about love. You know, that's how it goes, right? That's what it seems to be. What's up with the Strength card here? The A1 tour is there's basically you have no speed now. Because it's like, wow, I don't have any speed now. I'm slow. It's like, yeah. So let me clarify this Knight of Cups here. Two of Swords reverse, so you already know which path you're going to take. The Star reverse, there's no inspiration. No, but the Page of Wands is already there's basically invention. Yeah, you might be being an inventor. What are you going to do next? Right? Because this is how it goes. You pay attention on how you're going to be, dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, Aquarius, that's how it goes. It's like, wow. That's how it goes. What's up with this A Wands here? Queen of Cups here, there's no empathy. Four Pentacles over because you want money, right? That's how it goes. What's up with this Queen of Cups here? The Eight of Pentacles over, yeah, because you want perfection. You want things to be happening. You're basically focusing about more of your career. Maybe you're focusing about that. So that's how it goes. Let me clarify this Eight of Swords here. The Ten of Swords are, yeah, because there's conclusions. And then you have the Magician's upright because you have the skill again. See, that's how it goes. Right? That's how it goes. What's up with this Page of Wands here? The Emperor's reverse, there's no nourishment. Three of Swords, sorry, there's heartbreak. Yeah, because you know how bad it was. Right? Yeah. So you're feeling sad, you're whimpering, you don't want whatever you want. Yeah, this is great. What's up with this Emperor's card, please? The Lover's reverse, there's no decisions. King of Pentacles here, there's no how it is. Eight Cups is up because you want entertainment. Yeah, you want to be entertained. It's like, look at me. That's what you want, right? But you're feeling hurt. It's like, wow. Yep. What's up between this Eight Pentacles and this Four Pentacles? This Ten of Cups is up, right? Yeah, because you're thinking, what else to do, right? Yeah, because when you're focusing about the Seven of Cups here, right? This Seven of Cups does represent illusion here, and you're basically sitting, you don't know what to do. It's like, wow. So it's like, this is the way how it goes, this is the way how it hurts, but in reality, you're having fear with it. See, this is how it goes, right? So let's see. Let's see what's happening here. So I'm going to go from the middle to the right, middle to left. So the King of Pentacles here, there's no security. Queen of Wands here, there's no charisma. Which is the right, you want skill. The Emperor's here, there's no nourishment. The Page of Cups here, see, there's no loyalty. You're not being loyal. No, you're not. It's like, why? I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be I don't want to be the spot of attention anymore. I don't want to be the center of attention anymore. That's what it is. It's reversed. Means you don't have loyalty. You don't have that self-respect. Get it through your own mind, That's how it goes. What's up with this Page of Cups here? The Seven of Swords, sorry, so you're feeling deceit. Three Pentacles, already you want excitement. Yeah. Right? Because you think that, oh, well, when you have deceit, everything is deceiving you. Like, everything is not going as planned anymore. Because you're stuck in the past, you're having fear. This is the way it goes. If you have excitement, you pay attention to it. Yeah, it is. What's between the middle and the left side, please? Eight of Wands, sorry, you want speed. Nine of Swords, sorry, there's trauma. Five of Swords is upright, there's basically conflict. Three of Swords, sorry, there's heartbreak. Yeah, because you're feeling sad. Right? Because when you have revenge, you have conflict, right? You're fighting, you hate this, that's how it goes, right? What's in the middle? Queen of Swords, sorry, yeah, because you're showing your independence. Yeah, you want to take it on and be a champ, but you're not. Because the way how this is the way how it works, right? So what's on the left side, please? High Priest here, there's no inner voice, alright? The Sun Ones here, there's no resilience. And the Nine of Swords here, there's no trauma. Alright, so what's going on with this High Priestess here? The Strength card is upright because you want bravery. And the Emperor is upright, you want structure. Yeah, because that's how it goes. So it's like you know how it takes, but then how it goes in that way. It's like, alright, I know what to do. Alright, this is the way how it happens. Is when you have the Emperor and when you have strength, you pay attention to it. You want to focus on what you want and what you get. So if you want structure, if you want bravery, you pay attention to it. You pay attention right now. You pay attention to it. What's up with this Seven Wands here? The King of Pentacles here, there's no security. Knight of Swords is already there's drama here. It's like, wow. Yeah, you know, that's how it goes. Right? Yeah. Because when you have no security, it's like you have drama now. That's how it goes. Yep, that's how it goes. What's up with this Nine of Swords here? Five of Cups already, there's grief, yeah. And the Ten of Swords already, there's conclusions here. Yeah, so when you focus about this is the way how it goes. This is the way how it happens. This is the way of how it seems to be in that way, right? So, you know, you have to know what you're going to be doing in that way. You have to focus on what's happening, and you have to do exactly what you're told to do. You have to be responsible for how you're feeling in that way, right? This is how it goes. But this is the way it seems to be. This is the way how it goes. This is just a reading. But overall, this is how it seems to be in that way. And I hope you are focusing on Scorpio Man, Virgo Woman. But this is how it is, right? This is the way it seems to be. This is how it is in one way or another. But I hope you all like this video. Please give a like. Please leave a comment if you want. And this is the way it seems to be. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. And have a good day. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thank you. And bye.